Kirk Cousins showed his heart in loss at Dallas. Remember that when he's gone. Arlington, Tex. At least Kirk Cousins showed up, on an evening when so many of the Washington Redskins seemed mentally absent, or played like they had accidentally tied their shoelaces together. Just think about how bad it will be when Cousins finally doesn't show up, when he's out the door, and the team's sorry management has to take the full measure of his absence. Imagine the next few years without Cousins. Brewer, Cowboys entered playing ugly, then started ugly. But the Redskins were even uglier. Cousins will get plenty of blame for their 5-7 record, as the quarterback always does, and his relative value will be picked over by doubters, as it always is. But take away Cousins, his ability to get back up after being laid out like a chalk strip on every play, and what was left of the Redskins in AT&T Stadium on Thursday night. A team so compliant and user-friendly that they thoroughly refreshed the Dallas Cowboys by the score of 38-14, and set their NFC East rivals back on their feet. Frankly, Cousins was just about the only thing that rescued the Redskins' dignity in the sparkle of a game, kept them almost competitive in between the squirting fumbles, special teams disasters, murderous sacks, and a pliable defense that couldn't cope with Alfred Morris, the two-time Pro Bowl running back that the Redskins gave away in 2015, because they never value the right guy. Think about what this team will look like and play like when Cousins has moved on, when he is with another team, because consummate professionalism is just not a trait that is particularly treasured around Ashburn. In the midst of a hapless, beat-up, injury-thin performance, Cousins somehow kept his composure and made a comeback viable into the fourth quarter. Best and worst moments from the Redskins' 38-14 loss to the Cowboys: "We tried to fight back," Coach Jay Gruden said. It was Cousins leading the fight. He completed 26 of 37 passes for 251 yards and 2 scoring passes, numbers purely the result of his dogged ability to mount drives with absolutely everything going wrong. He made dodging throws off balance, and he was almost always under menace behind the practice squad patch quilt of an offensive line missing 3 of its original starters. Yes, he gave up 2 interceptions on tipped balls, and a sack fumble on a play when he became a sitting duck. He was sacked 4 times, drilled in the back, beat on the head, mashed face down in the turf, and in one stretch was pressured on 13 of 22 dropbacks by the Cowboys' pass rush. Yet he kept cutting into the Cowboys' lead. In the wretched first quarter and a half, they committed 3 turnovers to just 3 first downs, while the Cowboys went up 17-0 on Ryan Switzer's 83-yard punt return with 3:46 to go in the half. Right then, Cousins made the play that finally ignited them, the falling down back foot 33-yard throw to Jamison Crowder that was the centerpiece of a 75-yard drive, which he finished with a 20-yard zipline to Ryan Grant in the end zone. Brian Mitchell: after blowout loss, "I'm embarrassed to say I'm a Redskins fan." He managed to rally a counterattack again early in the fourth quarter, just after Dak Prescott hit Dez Bryant on one of those ladder climbers to put the Cowboys up by 3 scores. It was 24-7, and the Redskins needed something quick. Cousins made it happen, lacing together an 87-yard drive in just 3:25, and finishing it with a 14-yard ball to that Skywalker Josh Doctson. It was a startling answer, and for a minute, it made a comeback seem possible. Only that's when Morris put his foot down on their necks, with 89 of his 127 years coming in the second half. Morris is just another admirable player the Redskins let out the door because they always see something a little more glittering just over the horizon. He makes a lot of runs that people don't really recognize how good they are, Dallas coach Jason Garrett said. He's a damn good football player. Just not good enough for the Redskins. The list is long of players who have been the beating hearts of the Washington locker room only to wind up on other teams because they weren't shown enough regard or money by management. Pierre Garcon, Lorenzo Alexander, Antonio Pierce, Ryan Clark. And now, most likely, Cousins. All because President Bruce Allen and owner Dan Snyder are amateurs incapable of recognizing true professionalism when they see it. They were non-committal to Cousins to the point of insult, and made him a year-to-year player. Thus, he will probably be somebody else's quarterback next year, and that is when his measure will be fully taken. Think about that. Think about the Redskins without Cousins, and with Allen and Snyder restocking the team. Think about it over these last 4 games, as Cousins plays them out. We are all professionals and we are all being evaluated every single game and every single practice, Cousins said. Although people on the outside may not view it like we have a lot to play for, on the inside we do. It's our job. It's important to us. We'll be professionals every day and finish the season strong, put a good taste on our mouth. It's more than Washington management deserves from him, but they'll get it anyway. For more by Sally Jenkins, visit WashingtonPost.com/Jenkins. More on the Redskins. Redskins playoff hopes effectively doused with 38-14 blowout by Cowboys against Cowboys. Jamison Crowder proves pivotal for all the wrong reasons the Redskins defense had one job. They still couldn't stop Alfred Morris. Redskins game day. Cowboys run away with win against Washington all burgundy everything. Redskins show off Thursday night football uniforms. Redskins radio voice Larry Michael becomes D.C. area's Pro Football Hall of Fame voter.